I'm just gonna leave that at the bottom of the screen. Hey, Bleezy, how's it going, man? Thinking about taking Elsa to rank 3? Nice! She's on my list at some point. She's not duped yet, but I really like Elsa. I think that's a very fair choice. Hey, Zed, Boris. Welcome. This is an odd roster I'm not quite sure what to do with, so I think I'll just get rid of their Elsa. Gold pool worth rank 4. Only for the memes, in my opinion. Like, he's fine. He's nothing particularly special. Oh, I missed the Falcon. I actually would have done that over Elsa. Is Gore a good option against Korg? Probably not. Because the Thorns isn't one of the damage types that actually triggers his, what you call it? That actually triggers his regen. And so you have nothing mitigating that physical damage back. You don't have any easy openings or non-contact hits or energy. He's going to shrug all of your debuffs, and you can't really do anything hitting into block. It doesn't sound like a particularly good time to me. I just knew they were going to get Doom at the end. I should have taken Scorpion. I really should have. That's on me. Okay, start with Nick. Yeah, I have seen Viv's base stats. Dude. Really, really terrible time for him to go into terminal velocity. Do I think OG Scarlet Witch is still a relevant character at high sig for Battlegrounds and War? For Battlegrounds, sometimes. For War, not really. We have a chance there, but that terminal velocity special one hurt. Cool. Bravo, Nick. Okay, this time I have to go first, so that's going to be Thing. And they're going to go Falcon. And then we're going to see how quickly we can get through things. Oh no, they have to go first. I remembered wrong. Okay, well that's actually an easy call then. Because that means this is for sure Thing. And then Carl should be able to get through Kitty fast enough. But this is a little bit of a gamble. That's both not a good idea and not really correct, Entrasis. We can talk about that in a little bit. Rude. Kitty. Sorry, Penny. I'm not in those recruiting chats anymore. It's not really my thing. Dang it. That's way too many weaknesses. This is not great. Hey, Matt. I don't think we won that. But we might have. Yeah, the thing to remember is that the game just isn't what it was when OG Scarlet Witch ran rampant. She would be oppressive and annoying if we just set her back to what her old stats were, but she wouldn't get to 100% crit rate. So you wouldn't be able to do the same stun chaining BS that you used to. You wouldn't have the regen as reliably, etc. Thanks, Kimmy John. Yeah. Scarlet Witch was obviously overpowered and borderline unstoppable at the time, but she was also that in a much simpler game that worked by different rules. And it's just ignoring too much to say that it would be the same now. Hey, Cyber. Hey, Zach. No Archangel? No Archangel. Gave up in the middle of Diamond 1. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's been reported, Gammy. They're looking on it, or looking at it. Building a new tutorial for people, missed one thing about it. So have to redo it a bit. Thanks, Vega. I'm feeling very good after that. I know you know I was a bit nervous the whole time. Nice, Cyber, congrats. Yeah, Matt, that's the goal. Trying to get to Glad Circuit. I probably won't finish today because, this annoying thing called work. But I'm feeling pretty good. I think we go for diversity here. I was very tempted by Crossbones just because he's so good for a lot of this stuff. I'll pass it along, Sarghost. Glad you're liking him. Quake isn't that good anymore. You should bring her to 6-star. Trust me. Come on, Boris. I play in Tier 1 War. Quake is currently blacklisted, meaning that she was one of the 2 most common attackers in Tier 1 and 2 last season. It's just a wee bit much, don't you think? What is this feeling? I'm drafting Archangel because the opponent didn't have one to ban? This is a weird feeling. Hey, work. Yeah, I had one of those the other day in Trasis. People are chasing down the bugs, but it's tough, you know? Nothing to lose, try. What was I doing for this? That's right. Hey, Paul. Okay, that's too much. That was dumb. Why did I do that? I lost so much health at the end of what was a gorgeous, gorgeous fight. Okay. Map 3. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That does sound chill. Okay, we probably have it. I don't want to cast aspersions, but I feel like there are a lot of people out there who see on YouTube or content creators say something along the lines of Kingpin is fantastic for Thing, and then they use the special one and they don't know how to deal with the reduced ability accuracy for the rock stacks and they just lose control and get quartered because I've seen that way too many times recently. It doesn't make sense to me. Hey, Aiden, easy. How's it going? Took off Assassin because of thing? Yeah. I think that was one of my primary motivators back when. I could lose this. It's a gamble. There we go. That's a good heavy. That was less good. That was still a solid fight, though. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, you can absolutely do CGR versus Reed, but it's so easy to go wrong. Hey, user. All you smart people here, what's your opinion of Kitty's ideal SIG? Basically, 1 or 200. Lee, it kind of... If you're planning on cheesing stuff with her, then you want it as high as possible, and obviously it does more damage. But most of the time, if you're planning on using Kitty for something, what really matters is to take 0 damage while phasing. That's my my amateur Kitty player opinion, anyway. Best defensive champions? I mean, it varies, but there are some classics. Thing and Nick are way, way up there. Doom has been annoying forever. Sasquatch is really good. Korg is tried and true. Definitely missing some others. But those are all big ones. Yeah, Thing is a very good rank. He's solid on offense as well. In my opinion, he's fairly underrated. So then ban Torch. Trying to get me to put Blade in my deck, I hear you. I will put Blade in my deck once I have, or once he's rank 4, but he didn't feel worth it at rank 3 in this meta. Goodbye. Goodbye. Hmm. I think we go Doom. The Falcon is far enough down. I'm not concerned. Those instant Carl and Mephisto bans, that right there is the face of someone used to having their torch banned. That really makes me chuckle. You can get used to that, Penny. There are ways around it, but like you just have to be you have to become more intentional about your dexing is the biggest thing. Cersei, Wiccan, and Maw. That's interesting. I want Quicksilver and Rintra, but I think I want Crossbones for Nick more. He's just worked out really well for that matchup, and everybody loves placing him. I'm sure he does work. Does not sound fun. Alright, we got Apocalypse. I feel like they had answers to Penny, Hulkling, and Nimrod, so Longshot is the better diversity pick, but I don't love my defenders this draft. We're basically kind of relying on winning in 2. Like, I could win in the 3rd round, I just don't love this. My Crossbones is Max Sig now, yes. Hmm. Hey, Snoops. Well, that's not what I expected. Interesting. That does make sense. I know I could have gone for the heavies, but I felt like that was enough, and I really did not want to be wrong on the spacing. That was kind of me trusting Maw and playing it a little safer. Hopefully it works. Do I like wolves? They're my favorite. I don't dislike wolves, but if we're talking favorite animals, I'm more of a big cat kind of guy. Panthers and such. Maw did his job. Always depends for me. Default tend to be Domino, Torch, and 3rd depends on their deck. That's fair. I feel like I have enough options for Domino, but she's in the contention, or she's in contention for the 3rd ban for me. Please leave that there. I've run into so many people who think Idum is in my deck as a defender. This keeps happening, where they're like, ha, you don't have a bishop counter. What? Like, it blows my mind. He's good, guys. Dang it. No chill, all special ones. I'm really trying to push him over a bar here. Thank you. That is what I wanted. Not ideal, but I'll take it. Thanks, Penny. The reason that I was so happy to use Tigra there is that her weakness problem only happens against non-cosmics. So you'll notice I had like 3 weakness on me, and she still went unblockable against Terrax. It's important to keep that in mind because it makes her very safe for this meta if you choose your targets correctly. Ooh, good luck, Jason. It's a good Shang-Chi fight on their part, though. Props for that. Hey, Ninos, how's it going? Have I seen any of the big cats? Yeah, unfortunately, just in zoos, but seen a few. You know, the usual lions, tigers, obligatory, and bears, even though they're not cats. Seen panthers, jaguars. I really like cheetahs. Baby cheetahs are some of the cutest things on the entire planet. All right, we're in Diamond. Thanks, Cyber. Yeah, I like Sentinel. Did you take a look at the new relic for him? Out of curiosity. Makes me nervous when Spot is that high in someone's deck, because to me that says they're not using him as a defender, and I don't want to deal with that. Ended up having to take a Nick in Battlegrounds with Nightcrawler. Was able to dex his special one. Very cool. That makes total sense, but that's very cool. I think Nightcrawler is within range of a pretty minor tune-up to be good. Yeah, Aiden, they're working on it. Sorry. I really hope Black Panther comes back. He's very helpful against these kinds of decks. Tigra, of course, would be incredibly helpful against Gallon. He does annoy me. I'll take Hype as a stopgap. He's pretty good for this. I'll take my own Gallon. I'd love to have Maw, but I'll do this for now. Yeah, we really need to draft Tigra now. Longshot can handle Hulkling if he comes back, but I guess Hype can work for Gallon, so I would accept Longshot if he came back. Yeah, I really like Toad. Fed him some SIGs for Battlegrounds. Okay, there we go. That is what I wanted. And then as far as the rest of this, I think we want Kingpin. Because Kingpin versus Spidey Supreme is pretty quick. I would have loved some of those others, but I think that's the right call. I would love to get a better Korg option. That doesn't quite count. I can stay alive with Doom, though. I'll take him. He also works for Cersei. I don't love my defensive options this round. I think it's probably going to be Nick, then Gallon. 60 is a sweet spot for most people. I think my Toad is higher than that. Okay, they'll do some damage, but we'll probably get KO'd. Let's try and make sure that we stay healthy. Why did that trigger off my light? What did I do wrong? I guess it just registered as a medium instead. Not bad by them. That's a good amount of damage to take off in Gallon versus Gallon. I respect that. It's just stealthy slow that counters miss. I only hesitated because I haven't done this matchup in a little bit. Hey, Zach. I will catch up on chat in a second. I know I've missed a few questions, but such is. It always worries me when I click ready and nothing happens. Nope. I felt late. Dang it, that's so bad. Like, I still like our odds. This is a good matchup, but god, that cost us so much. Hey, game. Yeah, Wiccan's a very good counter to Callan. Alright, let me back up. So Jay says, finally got 5-star OG Hulk relic. Congrats. Big fan of iHulk. OG Hulk is amazing. Probably, excuse me, use the relic on him. Nice. As far as relics needing to be awakened, I'm not sure I feel like any of them really need to be. The Valkyrie one is probably the single most important, where I think you really want the innate, just given how Valkyrie and Masacre tend to play. Interesting, Kemi John. Yeah, I really like the models for the relics as well, Cyber. Not to be harsh, Aiden, but it's also important to keep in mind roster. It's prestige isn't just a measure of spending. Like prestige also matters because it tells you how well developed someone's roster is. We have at least one fully free to play player in SSX, but they've played enough Battlegrounds and they've done enough of the content and ground out Eternity of Pain that they've had enough Sig Stones to put into Prestige and remain competitive. And like that's part of why we care about Prestige. It's not just because we don't want an anchor. It is that. But it's also because if somebody doesn't have good Prestige despite having decent champions, it tells you that they are very low on Sig Stones, and odds are they don't have all that deep a roster of rank 4s, and those that they do have are not very well developed or maxed out. Like, I personally, yeah, I spend a bit, but most of my Sig Stones have come from Battlegrounds, and I have a lot of champions over Sig 100. So just to not scold, but just point out that it is a bit more than just that. It's my opinion on Sunspot and Battlegrounds. Kind of depends on the meta, but he's very, very good, Jackie. Excellent nuke. Best team is Nimrod, Warlock, and Ultron. Do you think left or right? Um, with that, my temptation is right. Although I don't think Warlock is gonna help you a ton. Um, and I think you want Dragon Man to do the Eternity of Pain run. Like I don't think that you want to do it without him. He doesn't have to be super high rank, but he makes Icarus a lot less painful. And if you go the other way, he makes Terrax and the Dragon Man, or I guess Nebula's fine for Dragon Man versus Dragon Man, but you're not talking about Nebula, so he would make that easier. And he also makes Thanos much, much easier. What I personally did was Nimrod, Omega Sentinel, and Dragon Man, and that worked out very well for me. See, I both agree and disagree, Tamer. Because I do not think Victory Track should get shorter. I actually think that it should get longer. And I think it should get longer because I think the bottom needs to not have nodes and or have bots so it's more accessible to people. But I think that's only possible if the overall Victory Track gets longer, but stay with me, we need persistent progress. The fact that you have to grind all the way from Bronze 3 every season is one of the biggest drawbacks of the current system, and I don't think that shortening the victory track would even fix it. It's just the absolute worst that it resets all the way. You need to have some kind of system where you only drop back, I don't know, maybe a maximum of 2 full medals or something. So if you're established in the gladiator circuit, you start at platinum 3. Maybe they go further than that, but you need something like that so you're not starting over from scratch. But personally, I think that that then gives you the coverage to lengthen the victory track, spread things out, and make it less frustrating for everybody. For DLL and chat, best way to get gold. Yeah, incursions helps. Side quest helps a lot. Try and stick to class ISO if you're having trouble doing that. Then use your 4 and 5-star shards to buy the dual class crystals so that you can target your ISO spend better. Arena is the #1 way to get, to get gold. You can get some with glory crystals. Yeah, that's kind of my pitch there, I think. I'm probably leaving something out. No, that's not why you lose your match at Zentrasis. Like, I'm gonna be blunt. I use relics sometimes, like you've seen them come up in a couple of these matches. They usually are not what's making the difference at all. Like, none of these matches have been remotely close enough so that relics were the dividing line. Yeah, shifting priorities are good, Aiden. Could not find an answer. Can we do all levels of incursions? You did read right, the cooldown is 5 minutes. The reason it's 5 minutes and not 0 is that the system yelled at us when we tried to make it 0, so 5 minutes was our compromise. As for all levels, I think so. Yeah. There was some internal discussion about that. I don't think anything's going to change, but I saw some conversations in the CCP that make me not want to commit to anything more just yet. That's neat, Snoops. Yes, Bleezy. I personally fixed that in like August with Dragon Man. If you've got a rank 4 Ultron, I can buy it, Ewing, but I do think that Dragon Man is generally a pretty good recommendation for a lot of people. It really made the run cleaner. So personally, bitter. Like, it's possible bots wouldn't work, but my vision for it is something along the lines of you build a loose drafting um, and placement algorithm where it's something like you try and build in class balance, you try and build in like defender offensive balance, attacker. That's the word. Blech. You do a couple things along those lines. Eh. And then you just kind of let the bots do that. And the thing is, it would be exploitable, but that's the point, right? Like, if people start playing around what the bots do so that they can, excuse me, I'm also focused here. If people start playing around what the bots do so that they can, like, take advantage of the fact that the bots are probably only going to have max 2 of one class and they double down on that, then, like, fine, because then they're learning something about Battlegrounds. And then the problem would be that you couldn't have the bots actually play. Um, that would just be too much, and I think would just be asking too much of the system. I know I said too much twice. And so what I would suggest there is just have like a simple die roll that kind of determines whether the bots did poorly, average, or a little bit above average, and then just have the player have to beat that score. And you would probably use some data to determine what is good or not versus various matchups. It would definitely take some building, but I think there's a way to do it such that we could actually throw that in as a way to train people. Like, the bots would be dumb, but that's the point. You gonna try and make me bleed my own blood here? Hey, Campo, how's it going? Please throw your special. It'd be really funny here. Thank you. Exactly, Snoops. That would have been a better reference. That would have been a much better reference. Props. Personally, I like the victory track mainly because the tokens. Yeah, no, I like going through the victory track. We need some kind of persistent progress. Like, I could play Battlegrounds more, but the fact that I'm struggling to get through it this late in the month when my win rate is this high is a problem. Like, if I was losing every other match, I wouldn't be complaining about how hard it is to progress. But I'm not. Most of my matches look more like this, where it's just completely one-sided, and that shouldn't... Like, if you are crushing people, it should not be a grind. And that's both for you, because grinding isn't fun. It's also for the people you're crushing, because if it feels like a grind, that means you're crushing a lot of them. And that is not awesome. ABT. Really? I dashed in after that special one, too. I guess we're just not doing that. Dang it. Come on, buddy. I'm playing this very poorly. I deserve to lose. We'll see. Just like the relics for an extra attack opening. At lower levels, that's what they're for. But they get very real at higher levels. It's just most people don't have higher levels ones yet. Higher leveled ones yet. And I don't really like that either, William. I don't like the bifurcated nature of that is just going to be a huge feel bad. Because if you had a rough run and you end in like Diamond 1, resetting you all the way to Bronze 3 still sucks. There shouldn't be a hard cutoff just because you lost your last fight of the season. It needs to be some kind of scaling graduated thing, in my opinion. That's funny, Bleezy, and I appreciate you. Yeah, Campo does have very, very good Elsa content. Thanks, Jay. The champ that built DLL versus the champ DLL build. That's well put. I learn from all my colleagues all the time, but I would say, take the lion's share of my inspiration from Reed's designer. I just don't agree with that at all, True Potential. I think losses are supposed to be losses. But again, everything I say about what Battlegrounds should be comes down how how important I think persistent progress is. Because without that, nothing else works. Like, problems that I don't think are problems become bigger problems. And what am I looking for? I guess Void. He's not in my deck. Let's take out Shang-Chi. They're probably going to crush on him a little bit. But, like, problems I don't think need to be solved suddenly need to be solved if you don't have persistent progress. And yeah, that's kind of the main thing. I don't hate Work's suggestion. For a minute, I missed the not only, and I thought that was not based on where you ended, but only on how quickly you got there. I did not agree at all, but yeah, I think I'd be fine with something along those lines. Like, if you just burn through the gladiator circuit, then sure, don't drop you as far. I don't even know who I want here. Hey, J-Will, thank you. Yeah, for sure, Work. Like, I'm a good Battlegrounds player, but I think it's fair for the system to acknowledge that what I am doing every month is not the same as what you or other people who burn through are doing. That Arcus is going to be a major pain in the butt. Hope we draft someone for him next round, because I think we needed these two. That's very funny, Richard, but Reed's designer is the one who actually hired me, so not quite that. I think that answers Bleezy's question as well. You know what? If this gets Arcus off defense, I'm for it. It's not like he'll crit. Knock on wood. I'm fine with that, because their goal is to bait out my Scorpion so that they can place Rintra next round, but I think Tigra can handle that. Yeah, Reed's designer was the one who determined how to buff him. As in, not much. Bro. Thank you. That was a really fun finish. See, the funny thing is, True Potential, that, like, objectively, the number of cheaters has gone significantly down. the early seasons. It feels bad, right? There are a lot of them. I totally get that. But there will always be cheaters, and like we actually are. I know it's frustrating. Trust me, I do. But they're not getting ignored. Oh, cool. I didn't realize I actually did have enough to max it out. Which means I probably just spent enough that I don't have the 6-star shards to... Yep, nowhere close. Nowhere close. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to check where I was on relics. Yeah, we'll open a couple of these, and then I'm going to call it. Persistent progress. Yeah, this... Okay, I think this was basically answered. Come on, man. It's awesome, bitter. Science is the way. That is the wrong mystic relic. It's okay. It's on Tiger. I'm not sad about it. I'm not sad about it, he says, sadly. Whatever. Today is a good day. I had a boss kill. SSX only died once against a very competent alliance. It's a good day. And yeah, obviously every internet community is going to have its downsides. I really do like the upsides of the MCOC one. Okay, I think I mostly caught up. I'm going to go ahead and call it and head to work, which means I'm going to turn off this computer and turn on the other one. I do like my life right now. All right, I'll catch y'all later. One final laugh at work there. Take care, everyone.